But right now at 11:30 here on Radio London, it's our favourite Big Daddy, Bob Powell. So as I say, here's the programme with more beef than the average Sunday lunch. Here's the biggest conker of them all. All well-rounded and highly polished. Hello, Bob.
Hello there. How are you, my boy?
I'm just fine.
And I have never been more nervous as a country music disc jockey because we have got in the studio with us the most famous and the best country music disc jockey in the world, and that is a man who's been with the Grand Ole Opry and WSM radios for a year or two or three, and that's Ralph Emery. Ralph, I'm nervous, but thank you and welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Bob, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Live guest, an extra special live guest, one of the great stars of country music.
Are you sure I'm live?
I
feel dead today.
Do you?
Yeah. After my appearance, I'm tired.
I haven't read out what I was going to say about you.
Oh,
I'm hardworking, never swears, sober. Of course, who can it be? Anyone but Faron Young. Hello.
Thank you, Bob. Don't ruin my reputation. I spent all these years cursing and drinking to build up a reputation. You're going to ruin it.
I will never be able to ruin the reputation you've got. Faron, welcome back to the program. First time in 4 years.
It's been a long time, Bob, and I've missed you. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, and it's nice to see you back in London. We recorded.
Yes, well, good morning again from yours truly, Bob Powell, for a very special hour and a half of London Country, because we have with us one of the great stars, and he's not drunk or crazy, but he's a really nice guy, Bobby Bear. Welcome to London, and welcome to London Country.
Thank you, old friend Bob Powell. It's good to be here again after such a long time.
Yep.
We're going to have a man who is a great character, and I know he had one of the world's greatest rhythm guitarists on this particular cut.
Yes, he did. I happen to know personally he did. Also, one of the world's greatest photographers. You may not agree, but I think, personally, in my personal opinion, one of the world's greatest photographers.
Well, name the photographer first.
Yeah, Jim Glazer.
Name of the rhythm guitarist.
Well, now that comes to mind, too. That's Jim Glazer.
And who wrote this song with Jimmy Payne?
Jim Glazer did.
Who are you?
I'm Jim Glazer.
Felice and Boudleaux Bryant, two great names. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Bob. It's very great to be here. We are happy to be here.
Thank you, Boudleaux, and good morning to you, Felice.
Good morning to you, sir.
And thank you for coming up at such an early hour.
Oh, we've been up since 5 o'clock. You're kind of late.
Really?
It's my great pleasure to welcome one of the greatest stars of country music, member of the Grand Ole Uproar, Hank Lachlan. Hank, welcome live to London Country.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, Hank.
Bob Powell. How you doing?
Great.
Oh, you're looking great. I mean,
you.
last time I seen you, you was kind of wasn't doing so well, you know, as you wobbled out the room. But since then,
that's when you floated out of the room.
Yeah, you straightened up everything.
Right. Would you introduce my other extra special guest?
Uh-oh.
I know you've been practicing his name.
Censored. Well, I want you to know I didn't meet this fellow until I joined the Slim Pickens and his little buddies. And Rusty Dowse is one of the three buddies on the show. And I think he's very good. And I tell him this, before I got on your show, I told him that. I think he's very good. And he writes good songs.
Right.
So I think he's going to sing some today, aren't you, Rusty?
Well,
in fact, Rusty and his wife, Rose, I've more or less kind of headquartered at their house. You know, left my suitcase and all that stuff, and they've been great. I cooked them Southern fried chicken and stuff like that.
Well, I was going to talk to you, Rusty, but the introduction took so long, I'm afraid it's...
Flew that, didn't it?
Okay, I'll shut up.
What do you call an advert?
An advertisement.
Oh.
Saturday night shindig, live for Music City, USA. So I spot my head there for Rex Allen.
And Pat Heaney of Birmingham.
Oh, I do like that song, I do. Wrong. Sydney NSW Blue, SEGO70033.
Times a coming.
And the song's Bye Bye Love. This is great moments from the Grand Ole Opry. Oh, I like that old song. Yeah, terrific, isn't it? I don't know.
However, there are people who think he's absolutely lovely.
As we say in Quebec, shall we play it, mate?
But he plays.
And sings.
Yes.
Deep in hard Texas. Woohoo!
Well, you've got Heinz Buchholz
Yes.
and Carl Gotts here.
They'll like this song.
Queens Square, Hemel Hempstead. And they've all been very different, two country ones, one instrumental and one funny one, like. But, yeah, that's Laura Lee McBride. Especially, that's my Texas voice.
The old lamp lighter. Yes, a rather nice set. This is the Farmer Boys. And they're just too lazy, really, if you like me.
Andrew and John Steele on King Records from the 50s, and they are dangling.
First, there's some of them people there that they don't speak the language too good. Get up in the morning and have breakfast, 2 eggs, side by each, a pair of toasts, and a Pepsi.
27th is Spellbound. Hello, Ed.
Didn't say good, I noticed, just different.
Yes, well, one has to keep one's reputation.
I see.
It's, I think it's not bad, really. I wouldn't say it's good.
Bob, I'm not trying to beg for a compliment. I know what it sounds like.
What can I say after that?
Yeah, I thought you're always insulting me every week. I'll do it myself this time.
Don't believe it. I'm not insulting you. I'm just jeering you out.
Listen, I'll tell you what, we'll have a vote. London country listeners?
Listen, I'm delighted to see that marvellous thing on your chest today.
It was good, wasn't it? Very appropriate.
Yes, the medallion I'm talking about.
Oh, I see.
You're talking about the T-shirt, aren't you?
I thought you were talking about the stomach, actually. Enjoyed your program. What are you doing next week? Airplanes?
No, part 2 of the very same.
Oh, right. Oh, really? Oh, great. Good. I must sneak your idea and do it again. Do all country ones.
I don't mind. You usually do.
Oh.
Well, there's a little sound effect in there that we might listen for.
Okay. Tell us what it is.
I believe it was a little burp.
I see. Wish you hadn't known.
Done on a steel.
You must come to Daytona to visit me.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah. I've been on my swimming trunks so long.
Great.
I've got an exercise pair, you know.
Great.
Well, we're good.
Well, it depends. If you've got a clean mind like mine, then I don't know what sort of names they're referring to, you see. So it's in the mind of the beholder, really.
Like today's answer to Jim Reeves.
Right, which is pity because he's such a nice guy and...
Very soft-spoken, very polite, very down-to-earth, reserved.
Right.
He's about as exciting as watching paint dry.
Nasty. No, well,
I know.
But there again, he does a good TV program.
In fact, the title track from the album, which to the best of my knowledge is still available. If not, it should be, so I will plug it.
Good.
Called Walk With Me the Rest of the Way. Ignore the photograph, enjoy the record.
Lovely.
We have rivalry by checking Jimmy Penny photographs, folks. It's on the word label WST9581. No, actually, I must say that's a... Yeah.
You're a nice man, Bob.
Yeah, that's true.
Changed my name because I didn't want to capitalize on my father's name, you know.
Well, how come you called Ed Bruce Jr. then?
Well, see, my name was Frank Sinatra.
Oh,
but I didn't want to.
Okay. I see. Definitely going to edit that one.
Well, let's you and I get our picture taken together. Maybe we'll do a duet album.
Well, it'll have to be with a double-page spread with me around.
Oh, okay. We'll just get a bigger album cover.
Oh, that's okay. Great. Well, I know Webb was selling shirts at Sears Roebuck at the time. What were you doing?
I was selling fertilizer myself. That's true.
Really?
I had a little truck, and I would go down to the different farms and get the cow manure and carry it to the rich people to put on their roses in their garden.
Well, and I know you do a great imitation of Webb.
So I say I still doing the same thing.
Yes. I was trying to avoid that.
My grandmother used to collect your records.
That's right. I remember my mother used to listen to you over an old Crystal set.
I haven't met the son, John Wakely, but according to Jimmy, he looks just like me, so he must be one heck of a nice fella.
Definitely.
Well, I've got a rare one coming up now, and it's by Otis Williams and the Charms, who recorded... He's looking at me strangely, folks. A song called, Hank?
Green, White, and Gold. I'm going to do that tonight at the Forum over at Kensington.
Say it again. Now, don't tell him. Keep going.
Kentish Town. That's where I'll do
You sure you'll make it?
Certainly I will. Tony Lockman is going to guarantee that.
I think somebody has to.
Hey, do you?
And the Reed brothers, Donald, the younger one.
Absolutely.
And Harold.
Well, I'd like to tell you in 10 words or less what I think of you on the air, Bob. But she just edit that out, too.
But there's a lot of Jimmy Dickens ones that have never been on LP, which I would love. I compile a lot of records, and I would love to do a Jimmy Dickens LP, but I realize it would sell about 220 copies, and I'd have to buy 219 of them. But I know in the early days as well, they didn't put writer's credits on them, which is probably, I've probably got it somewhere, and it didn't come up in my system.
Oh.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it anyway.
And he says Merv Shiner with two tracks to his credits. M-U-R-V, they spelled it for some reason, but you are M-E-R-V, aren't you?
We did that just for the heck of it. On MGM Records, we changed it to Merv, because Merv spelled backwards is vroom. Vroom.
That wasn't the cowboy's idea, was it?
Yeah.
How did I guess? No, he says it was your idea.
In fact, I believe you produced this album. You did, didn't you? Like Commander Cody.
I enjoyed that. We had a good time.
Yes, he's been on the show. He's a nice guy. Tales from the Ozone.
He's crazy, you know.
Is he crazy?
George Frank? Of course he's crazy.
Yes, I did get the impression I was. I'm a gentleman, you see. I can't tell you things like that.
But I enjoyed that album, and I had a good time recording it.
As String Bean used to say, they've sold under 2 million copies, didn't it? Way under.
Well under 2 million. Somewhere between 250 copies and 2 million. I'm not sure.
Leave notes of yours for Charlie McCoy, and I must admit, a super selection. You've done a marvellous job. I was really delighted. I said, I know that man. I know that man.
And I knew you were up to date, Chaz, because I did that about 7 years ago.
Regards, and we give you, Bob, we give you and your listeners our best regards.
Regards, yes. Okay. It's almost as bad as my name is spelled with one L, and I say I'm one L of a Powell, you know. They're as bad as each other. That's been said about 2,000 times on this show.
Did a session with the BBC orchestra and some other things. I don't...
All sorts of things.
Country club.
You didn't have to mention that.
Oh, excuse me.
I told you the story about the... well, what's your title here? You know what I mean? What do you consider someone who plays... Is it a disc jockey?
No, we're presenters.
Presenters?
Yes.
Well, you heard the story about the fellow who was a little short on brains, and he went into a brain store. And he said, I need some brains. And the man in the store said, why, certainly, sir. What would you like? And he said, well, how much are those brains right there? And the storekeeper said, oh, those are medical surgeon's brains. Those are 100 pounds an ounce. He said, I see. And he said, how about those brains right over there? And the storekeeper said, oh, those are corporate solicitor's brains. Those are 200 pounds an ounce. He said, I see. And how much are those brains there? And he said, those are presenter's brains. Those are $400 an ounce. And the fellow said, wait a minute. He said, I can buy medical surgeon's brains for 100 pounds an ounce, and I can buy corporate solicitor's brains for 200 pounds an ounce, and you want 400 pounds an ounce for presenter's brains? And the storekeeper said, mister, do you have any idea how many presenters it takes to get an ounce of blood? I got you, Bobby.
Well...
You didn't like that.
Thanks for
That's
coming
a
on the show.
funny joke.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. I heard it as musicians.
No, that's good.
If I told it like that, would you liked it better?
I think that's good, actually. Of course, we call ourselves disc jockeys, not presenters, so...
Well, way to go.
That's good. But he didn't laugh at my jokes. I'm not going to laugh at his.
I tried.
It's a nice album, actually, the Clayton McMission story. I've not seen it. Where do you get all this from?
Well, no, they sort of drift in, you know.
These records you're playing, do they belong to you? All these are your collection?
Yes, they are, most of them.
I'd would really be a great honor if you put them in your will to me, you know. I really would love to have them, you know, if something ever happens to you, you know.
I'm going to outlive you, Hank.
I believe this is the first time Oxford has won in years, isn't it?
No, this is the third year in a row, actually.
Oh, well, I sure blew that, didn't I?
Yes.
Tom T. was a McGovern man, and George Hamilton was a Nixon man.
Really?
Yes. Tom...
I think you might be wrong there.
No.
Well, that's Ernest Tubb, and not according to one of our most regular phone ringers in, Emily. Hello, Emily. That's not Jimmy Rogers, dear. That is Ernest Tubb.
Well, I've got this ticked as I've already said this, but I don't think I have, so if I have said it, I'm going to say it again. The trouble is I never listen to myself. I know what a liar I am, you see.
To dedicate this actually to a young lady who's the daughter of Barry Smith, who plays steel with Frank Jennings, who I saw at the Peak Green Club in Sidcup on Friday, and her daughter is Claire, and it's her birthday today, so happy birthday to you. Here is the Statler Brothers.
Well, I did a terrible thing a little while ago. Gina Earl sent me a note, I think it was her husband's Alan's birthday, and I forgot to mention it. So to make it up, they haven't sent a note in, but I am going to dedicate this to Alan, Gene, and all the Earls. I hope you enjoy it. I know you will, because it's your favorite artiste, Faron Young.
Dedicated to my dog, Casey. Casey Jones. I like to dedicate this. She's still young. My ex-producer, Maggie Cheeran, now Maggie Gamwell, complete with a son and husband, and she's working hard as a housemaker, they call them in the States, housewife
in Orpington. So, Maggie Gamwell and family, this is for you. Well, here we got a request, actually. Two people wanted the same song sung by two different people. First one is General to hubby Alan. Much thanks for 25 years of married happiness, which is a lovely message.
I don't often dedicate this to members of staff, especially when I got one, but this one I have to because it's another track from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and our young Chrissy hasn't stopped going on about her trip up today, about all the trouble she's had. She goes a very strange way here, and she got all stuck in traffic jams. So especially for her, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band and Long Hard Road.
What is this?
It's...
Well, you've really been digging hard, haven't you?
Yes, and I had about 12 hours' notice, but we've managed a few things, like this goodie.
I can't believe that you have dug up all of this. Now, I've got to be honest with you. Most of this stuff I have not heard in years. I did it, a lot of this I did a long time ago.
Including our special guest, Dwayne Allen. And
I want to dig in your record collection, Bob. You've got records by us that I don't even have. This next thing you have queued up here, I've never heard us do that record.
Oh, well, that's great. Well,
in fact, it's the first time I've heard Red Foley and the Oak Ridge Boys for well over 10 years. I don't even have that record in my own collection.
Well, we try to do this on the program to play things perhaps you haven't heard before, relieve the tedium of 10,000 interviews a week, you know.
And the song, you remember, Love, Love, Love.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Hardly, but... Boy, you did dig back, didn't you?
Yes, we do.
I'm surprised, really, that
You're really going back, aren't you?
Yeah, I believe in it. Well, you tell me what you produced lately, and I'll play it.
Well,
that's it. You see, here is Brenda Byers.
Long time since you've heard that, I should
Yes,
imagine.
it has been, really. Yeah.
So, what were we talking about? 25, 30 years ago, I guess.
Longer than that.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
One I found also that you wrote was a song called It Won't Be Long by the Spears.
Right. Wow, you go all the way back.
You're now, we're threatened, going to go to the Billy Gray track. If you don't, somebody else will.
I haven't heard this in ages, Bob.
Well, we're going to get back to something. This might surprise you a little bit, if I haven't surprised you already.
you have. You really have, Bob.
Have I? Well, this goes back to about 1970. Leona Williams and Merle Shiner. Well, that surprised you, I think.
It did. It really did.
And you actually forgot that you recorded that live, didn't you? You, for a minute, thought it was your MGM recording.
I did.
But you never recorded with the Pine Toppers.
No.
Yes, you did. You did a song called The River of Silver on the Coral label. In fact, I'll play it right now.
And I didn't know they were in existence.
Well, we try to spring a few things on.
Isn't that something? That's two you've thrown on me today.
Right, we just started. We've got plenty more to go yet.
No wonder I've been getting some nice BMI checks and things. I didn't even know where it was all coming from.
Yeah. And then we went to one you've completely forgotten about, Barbara Mantrell.
Oh, that really shocked me. That really did. I don't even remember what studio we did that, but I'm quite proud of that.
That was a later one, show number 221. I tell you, I've done this sort of show with many songwriters, and a lot of them, I play a record and they say, no, I've never written a song at that time. And, they swear blind halfway through, and it's suddenly...
Well, what do you think of that, Faron Young? A long time since you've heard that, I should imagine.
Quite a shock. How did you get your hands a hold of that? Was it three writers on it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
See? You're just spreading it around.
I learned something, didn't I?
Right. Was it Red and Ernie?
Or, let me see that picture.
No, I think it was Red and Hank Singer.
Yes, you're right. That's what it was. You're right.
If you want to know anything else about your group,
I'd like to have to check with you and see exactly what I'm up to, Bob.
This is Twin Fiddles with the very beautiful Love is Blue.
I'll tell you when I hear who all's in the group, because I've never heard this record. I think I remember when we did it. It must have been about 8 to 10 years ago, and I think you should rename your show to Surprise the Artist with their own records.
I don't think you've ever heard it quite like that before.
Never. That's my first time to hear that rendition. Oh, that was all a surprise to me. I didn't know those were recorded at all.
Oh, that's interesting.
You've sort of forgotten about this.
I've totally forgotten about that one.
Here we go. Voice holders.
How many records have you actually had recorded? I mean, this is the impossible question, I know, but I'll start off with it.
Well, it's harder now than it was before because you've come up with some we didn't know about.
And Willie Nelson recorded it in his United Artists Day.
You're kidding me.
Didn't you know that?
Another one?
Yes.
Oh, what a treasure find you are.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't know about this. Yes, this is when he was on UA, United Artists.
But this was a Jimmy I didn't know about the Scrubs.
Oh. It's quite recent. Would you think it'd be in the future?
That is it.
Oh, I forgot that
is
one.
it.
I've forgotten that.
Yeah, and he did a track of yours, 1978.
Oh, what was it?
Have a Good Time.
Oh, really?
Didn't you know that?
No.
I didn't know that. I remember he did one, Where's Your Heart Tonight, a long time ago. This was in the early 50s.
Actually, we're going out quite respectably here with Albert Coleman's Music City Pops, Chaplain in New Shoes.
Oh,
yes,
you have
good.
that too.
I have it.
He has them all, doesn't he?
Surprise, surprise.
The song, again, one of your great numbers, Too Late to Turn Back Now, that you did right, didn't you? It says already.
No. That's Alan Reynolds.
It's got your name on it.
On where?
On the record, I got it right here.
Let me see it.
All right.
Well, some of these co-written songs, I can't remember.
You know, remember the song now, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I remember the song very well. You may be right.
This is bring you down memory lane, Ronnie.
Oh, listen, I tell you, this is just a fantastic day. I mean, I thank you so much. And
Tom Paul and the Glaser Brothers, and that's got you puzzled.
Well, really, it's quite like hearing a strange group doing something with your own vocal cords. I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember singing the song?
Not at all. No, I don't. I couldn't have told you the lyrics to it. That's one of the things that we apparently worked up and only sang for a short time. It's an old song. I know it is an old song, but I have no memory.
I believe it's called When the Roses Bloom Again. But
That's what it is. Yes, When the Roses Bloom Again.
And you've never recorded it then?
No.
Well, that's an exclusive on the program.
Well, it certainly is.
Nice one. His name's Lenny Bro, and he now is based in Nashville. Do you know him?
No, I didn't know the connection there.
Oh, but
I'm learning a lot today, Bob.
You've heard of Lenny, have you?
Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah, he's a very well-known guitarist. Wanda Jackson song, Right or Wrong, and you didn't know he recorded it. I'm surprised.
I've never heard that. I appreciate you playing it.
Oh, pleasure. He did a nice job. I have to give to you, she recorded.
Well, I didn't know that.
Oh, really? And there's...
Yeah, and that one's about 20 years old. This is great. I'm getting re-educated here. I've forgotten about half of these songs, Bob.
Well, let's hear a part of You're More Than Yesterday, written by Edwin Bruce himself.
Did I write that?
Issued at court.
Okay.
You got...
Boy, you can pull some out of the hat. You know that? Every time I come over here, you amaze me of what I've done.
That was a good medley, though. You'd forgotten that they fitted well together, didn't they, Gene?
I still can't remember doing the thing, though. But, you know, whenever we did those shows, they would call us in, and we'd have about 20 minutes to do a 15-minute show, and you had to make up your mind in a hurry what you were going to do.
I don't think you've ever heard it quite like that before.
Never. That's my first time to hear that rendition. It's a little bluegrass flavor to it.
Yeah, it's nice too, isn't it?
Nice.
Hal Lone Pine, do you remember him? Who was...
yeah, did they record that?
Well, she did. That's Mrs. Hal Lone Pine, Betty Cody.
I didn't even know that.
Well, this was from one of the rarest LPs I've got, actually. I asked him whether he'd, in fact, recorded with any country artist, and he said no. And then when we were at Paul Davis's house for supper, about an hour later, we found out that wasn't true at all. Bud, isn't that right?
Yes, that was many, many years ago. I tried to forget that.
Who did you record with, Bud?
Oh, the thing that you're talking about is T. Texas Tyler.
Right. Well, there you are. That's some Oak Ridge boys that even Dwayne Allen hasn't heard.
Surprise.
I go about 500 of those shows, so it's surprising how often...
If you ever get an extra one of those, I would appreciate you sending me a copy, because I've never heard the whole show.
I will dub it off for you, and I'll even try and...
Have to come see you in England to even get our own shows. How about that?
What's the song called, sir?
Rock Moppin' Baby. But I was unaware of that one.
Oh,
that
really?
cut, yeah.
And that I think you had a single, if my memory serves me right, Don't Wake Me, I'm Dreaming.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it was a big record for us.
And Jack Green recorded it, you know.
I didn't know that.
Oh, he most certainly did.
Well, I learned something every day. I wish I had the record.
Well, I'm not aware of a lot of those names.
Oh, really?
No, I'm not. I'm surprised.
Oh, they're genuine.
Make a day today with Bob Powell on London Country. The country sounds are really coming through. Make a day today with Bob Powell. He's here on your radio with country sounds that are just for you.
Well, Well, we were plugging appearances by Frank Jennings so much, I thought we got to play the man, and here he is here on London Country. Let's have our basic ident.
For the best in country music, stay tuned to 206 and 1458 medium wave, 94.9 VHF in stereo. The best in country music, stay tuned to 206.
Thank you, Jerry R. Helga. Bless your heart. Well,
Radio London, London Country.
You're listening to London Country on BBC Radio London, 206 medium wave and 94.9 VHS. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian Chalker. Always in a hurry there. London Country on BBC Radio London, 206 medium wave, 94.9 VHF in stereo, and on back to medium wave, 1458 kilohertz. Our medium wave, by the way, is your AM, as I'm sure you know, and VHF is your FM.
Okay, I don't think I got it all down. Do you want to repeat it again?
No, you can't get it in Nashville anyway. As a matter of fact, unfortunately.
206 and 1458 medium wave, 94.9 VHF in stereo. That's London Country with Mr. Bob Powell on 206.
well, thank you, Jerry R. Helga. Listen to London Country with yours truly, Bob Powell. That's me.
When I'm riding rubber, burning up the road, I tune my radio in to that country music show. I tune into Bob Powell, he comes through loud and clear with the kind of country sounds I want to hear.
A lot of fun doing that. I really did. Did you happen to read the liner notes?
Do you want the honest answer or the truth?
I want the truth.
No.
Well, all right.
If you'd like to send us your request, we'll be absolutely delighted to play them for you.
You're kidding.
No?
You're probably right.
I very rarely am.
The blurb people back albums. I do them for a living, so I know exactly what people. You lie a lot, you know, when you get paid
Yes.
$6. Well, I've said for years, and you've ignored me like everyone else does, that you should do a live album.
From the album, as I said, that Mrs. Hamblin requested, which is very nice because I compiled it a long time ago. Long deleted, though. Didn't last very long, unfortunately. Shows how successful the records I compile all the time is that. But still a chance of a few snow showers. Why doesn't the firm send me to Florida or something?
That's interesting. I'm about the only one who seems to feel. I feel his current album's about the best he's ever done, but no one agrees with me, so I don't blame you for disagreeing.
When never had to work so much in all my life. These are so short, aren't they? That was 219. The one before was 208. It's remarkable how short the records were in the old days. It's a song called Some Fools Never Learn. I know the feeling. You saw it on a record that I compiled that never quite saw the light of day. It was 500 printed, which is a pretty good seller for me, actually.
Yeah. By the way, if you are listening and you weren't listening to the beginning, this is Bob Powell talking. I don't sound like Bob Powell. Well, I've got laryngitis, you see. I actually sound different to this. I'm not saying better, but definitely different.
Play my favorite unknown recording by you, because I've tried to get MSA to release it. They totally ignored me.
Jack?
Didn't they have a motel or something? Or am I imagining things? I do imagine things sometimes.
I had never heard of that.
Great. We played a few Warner Mac records you didn't know
Boy,
recorded.
I've had a great day. I really have. And Miss Chris is over here writing them all down. No telling how much money I've made today.
I think that's what we'll call her from now, Miss Chrissy.
Yeah.
Chrissy Davy. Thank you, Miss Chrissy.
That sounded a little southern there, Bob. Thank you, Miss Chrissy.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that after this program. Helping the steely looks. Anyway, listen, thank you very much indeed.
This is an artist I have to play occasionally because it's Valerie Clayton's, our secretary's almost favorite singer. She's heard me sing, you see. Pretty well as number 2 now.
This was recorded on the 6th of February, 1939. Maggie Sharon was very young then, and believe it or not...
Don't believe him.
You don't know how to talk, you're off mic. As I said before I was interrupted, Hank Snow, the Texas cowboy this is. There he, my gosh, here he comes on his horse through the studio door.
Howdy there, cowboys.
Howdy, boy.
Just thought I'd drop round.
Maggie is gesticulating in an incredible degree. Hang on a minute, let's have a bit of music while I find out what's going on. She's messing me about. There's nothing wrong with it. It's all she thought was on the wrong speed. But would I do that? No, you cry. This is Frank Ifield.
We got Valerie Clayton sitting here now. What number do you think she is?
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 that she is probably 11 or 12.
Really? Minus?
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
Of course, Doug Jernigan's California Blues.
That's my dog again. Quiet, hound. And so there you are. That's our own below. Now, that's my dog again, Quiet Hound. About a year ago or so, we played this particular version, which I don't even own, but Valerie Clayton does. Hello, Val.
Hello. Hello, Val.
She's good, isn't she? That's all I let her say. She takes over the program, otherwise, you see. And
Don Gibson Solitary.
What do you mean he did about himself? Yeah, that's true. He wasn't singing with anybody. It's very true. That was, of course, the voice of our own beloved Valerie Clayton, which...
Of course, Norman Rant is a singing disc jockey rather than a non-singing disc jockey, as Chrissy can tell you when I sing on records, when I don't put the microphone on to spare you. Don't spare her, though. No. In 1977, we met the actor come singing of sorts, Dennis Weaver, and then in the McLeod series, I had to say that, Gracie loves him.
He's from Maine, and his name is Dick Curlis, and I think you'll like him.
Sorry about that. I was listening to the boat race.
I beg your pardon?
Said the artiste was Karen Taylor Good. Well, oops, I've hit my microphone. Sorry about that. Sorry, Mike.
Miss O'Connell and Sleep at the Wheel, a group she is a member she is of the group, or words to that effect. Kind of love I can't forget. Well, thanks for talking to us, Tony. We'll be, in fact, coming back to you right after this very next number. And, I don't know, are you a fan of this man, Gene Watson?
Gene Watson?
Yeah. Never heard of him.
No, I haven't, actually.
Well, you can hear a nice song right now.
Rodney and Doug... excuse me. Rodney and Doug... Willie Nelson, Uglo Inglesi, and For All the Girls I've Loved Before. I'll get it right in a minute. I've only heard it about 50,000 times. It is a mono program today, in spite of the fact that normally we're on 94.9 VHF in stereo. Today we're 94.9 VHF in mono. I've not only forgotten that we're stereo mono, I've forgotten the call signs. That's terrible. I think I've got this slightly out of order. Typical me. This. Oh, well, let's jump over to number 20 and then go back. I knew I would do something wrong. It's old age. I should exile myself. That's the name of the group that's on now. Up from number 25. Hang on to your heart and your wallet. I hope you enjoyed those three. There was Homer. No, there wasn't. It was Fay Hard and Only the Strong Can Survive. My last show, you see. I'm going all to Twitter.
It was one of the successes, I guess you'd call quiet successes at Wembley, was a Norwegian gentleman called Tommy, T-O-M-Y, Friends. And the reason he did so well...
Yeah, that's very nice, but it isn't the one I was going to play. Wrong track yet again. I was saying to you, I usually, when I haven't got a guest on, I don't announce the track beforehand, so I'm never wrong, you see.
That's smart.
It is, isn't it?
That's very intelligent.
I'm forgetting to do that. It's called Lovers, Friends, and Strangers, but it's a nice song, actually.
Thank you. I think it's...
Keep talking for 10 seconds, I will.
Okay, I think it's Marie Wilson and Vic McAlpin and myself that were on the song.
You're absolutely right. Those are my keys, Jingles, by the way. We'll do that.
And I remember this song, too.
You do? What's the first line?
They say that my kind of love is blind.
We'll soon see.
Take my hand for a while. Explain it to me once again.
I don't believe this. Not two in 23 minutes. But I'm always prepared for an emergency because, well, we're not going to have George Hamilton's version of it now. We're going to have Eddie Arnold's.
You just wanted me to have the wrong first line,
exactly. Well, the wrong version, but the right song.
Well, that's a world record even for me. Before This Day Ends by Eddie Arnold. I've heard this.
Yeah, that from the Magnificent Music Machine album.
That's it?
Yeah, I've heard that.
But, well, I'll tell you what, just before we do that, I'll change my mind. We are going to play this. Which is a voice from Indiana. I got my running order wrong.
Up there.
Gathering flowers for the master's bouquet. Beautiful flowers that will never decay. Wait forever to bloom in the master's bouquet.
Well, that was the Stanley Brothers. Well, I told you it was an old record, didn't I?
Sure is. Sound like it's been played a time or two.
Yeah, that's true. You got Bobby Wayne Loftus. Have you ever heard of him?
No, I didn't know anything about that one.
Oh, yes.
I did.
Because I know, because you had it on RCA, didn't you?
Yeah, at the time she was, no, it was on Monument. I got you, Bob. It was on Monument. She was at the time about, what, 2 years old?
About 2 years old.
I'll edit that bit out, by the way, yes.
Oh, no, you won't.
What's the name of this track again?
This song is called How Much Can Love Take?
Hey, I'd love to. I want to do something. Wrong one. That's better. Ray Pillow in London Country, Radio London. We'll be back.
That's a nice song. I played the wrong track. I always play the wrong track, so people are used to that. That's nice, though. A House Is Not a Home.
The song just, it struck me as a nice song, and the words, I suppose the words is very, they're very sort of true to anybody,
That's why I decided to play it.
Yeah, I knew. It was a deliberate mistake,
Absolutely,
wasn't it?
yes. You believe that, don't you?
Yeah.
Shall we try again?
Might work this time.
We'll get it right in a minute. The covers, you look at the records and they're exactly the same. It throws you. Here we go.
Okay, Norwich tonight at the Theatre Royal and on Thursday at the
Fortis Masters of the Fortis Score.
Otherwise known as the Fairfield Halls Croydon.
I will sing of a place that you may have seen in the eastern half of our land so green, where the sun is warm and the sky is blue and...
You made a mistake again. There we are. That's better. You're looking at the photo. We're going to play a song I like very much. So neither Nolan nor Spencer wrote it, but it's called Trees. Are you...
The timber trail. Timber.
I decided to play Timber Trail. First off, welcome the dad. That's Bud Tudmark. Bud, welcome to London Country.
Thank you so much, Bob. Nice to be
Try
here.
again. I didn't put your microphone. It's one of those days.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Nice to be here today.
That's even better. Eddie Wells, Faron Young, and this fine version
is
not that one, by Porter Wagner. Well, we're going to have a 4 in a row now by the man himself. That's Leon Payne, who we've been looking at today. 22 minutes now to 1. What happened? What happened? What happened? Ah, there it is. Slight error there. Leon Payne on London Country, 4 in a row.
Ernest Tubb is singing this. I knew the moment I lost you.
8 weeks ago tonight we parted. Jesse Ashlock wrote this.
Ah, it says Wilson Duncan on my Ernest Tubb.
What am I thinking about? No, I'm thinking Please Don't Leave Me Anymore. That's right. Sorry. First mistake I ever made.
She said that, didn't
In the last second. Yeah.
Well, we are doing a very special program today. Some of you will love it. Some of you will love it, I should say. Some of you will hate it. I've been away for 4 weeks. I forget how to do this job. But I'm going to play music of the 50s. So...
And this is the artist.
Hello, I'm Merle Kilgore.
That's not the artist at all. It's Mel Tillis about to do it afterwards.
Here's Joey Bird taking us up to the news and AA. We'll be back for another hour of music of the 50s on London Country. Just a little lovin'. It's called Joey Bird. Now living in Hawaii. I get my birds mixed up. This is Billy Bird of the Ernest Tubb Band, who drives a taxi cab in Nashville. Sorry, Billy and Jerry.
Gospel music is here to stay. Listen to this station, give it a play. They're gonna play your favorite song. Come on now and sing along.
just remembered I changed the track. I decided not to do the gospel one by Bob Paisley after that. Yeah, well. I have not had a good week, actually, because I came up Thursday specially to interview Eddie Bond, who is probably just about getting into the country from the ferry at this time, because he's been booked very much at the last minute to do a show at the Mean Fiddler tonight. And I came to edit the tape today, and there was nothing on it. Now, I'm sure I checked it, always do, because I'm wonderful like that. I've never done that before. I got a blank tape instead of 20 minutes of fun with Eddie Bond. So, to make up for it, we are going to play a 4 in a row by Eddie, and 4 very nice tracks indeed. So,
I do feel that you know, sort of a Polish influence almost, a polka feel to your fiddle playing.
Well, I think maybe I was I'll be all right.
Now, look, I don't want any mistakes in this program.
Yes, there certainly haven't been any so far. But influenced quite a bit during the war years.
And we have flipped over at an almost non-expense the Carl Story record, and we come up on the other side, a gospel number. Oh, they're from Windows Far in the Mountains. Would I play the wrong record? Yes, the world is yelling. How dare you? Carl Story. Chrissy did as well. Some of it isn't. I mean, up in Jacksonville, it's not quite so hot, is it?
I've never been there, to tell you the truth.
Oh.
And
I have.
Have you?
Yeah, well, with Tom T. Hole on the bus one time.
Oh.
That's another story.
It's very nice.
In fact, I bought that track years ago when they were on the WWBA Wheeling, West Virginia Jamboree, which we used to get in Quebec City on my parents' old Zenith radio. And used to get, you remember those, the tubes used to give a terrible noise for about 2-3 minutes. You had to turn it off and then put it on again when it starts behaving itself. Wow, those lovely days, those. That's how we used to talk Quebec City. Here's Wayne Rainey. Ah, that brings me back to my youth in Quebec City when I was throwing snowballs in the winter and doing all sorts of things that one shouldn't do. That was, yeah, it does bring me back there. Jimmy Davis, the former governor of Louisiana, and Aunt Dinah's quilting party. Well, I thought that was great. I mean, I haven't heard that really since I was a kid, way back in 19 But it's got a special place for me. He's the only one ever I asked him a question. He said, "Excuse me, I dozed off for a minute." The only time that's ever happened to me in live radio.
We've known for years and years, haven't we, James?
Many years. I always have fond memories, Bob, of, I think it was called the Country Guitar. There used to be a coffee bar just opposite the Dominion in Tottenham Court Road. Yeah. And we were there, and I remember you were very enthusiastic about a place that you were going to take us to. And you took a crowd of us to this, I think it was a cafe.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a real dump.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
A real dump.
It seemed to have...
I'll never forget that, Bob.
Well, you wanted me to pay. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Bob, it's been a long time since I last saw you in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
That's it, yes, a couple of years ago. And
That's right, in a Holiday Inn, and we were sitting there eating breakfast, and here you come bouncing in the door and just with a big smile and saying, "You are the Oak Ridge Boys." And I said, "Sure, come on in."
One day I called Doodle Owens, and I said, "Doodle, come over to the house. I have this title." So we wrote it about 2 hours, and it's called Singing Those Lovesick Blues Again.
What does AL stand for in Doodle?
I don't know.
Lawrence. Pardon?
I don't know. You've got me.
Rusty don't know either.
There are times when you wish you hadn't asked a certain question, folks. And you wrote this with another famous writer, didn't you? Sanger D. Schaefer. I won't ask you what D stands for.
No, that's old Whitey.
Who's a fine singer himself. How did you get to write this, Drinking Things Over?
Just that way.
Okay. Ask another silly question. This song, I'm Sending Daffodils, was originally called I'm Sending Roses. Was I right or was I wrong?
I'd send you roses, but they cost too much, was the original name of it.
And how did it turn into Daffodils?
Yeah, we call it Daffodils.
Daffodils. How come you changed it?
Just because we wanted to, I guess.
Oh, fair enough.
I've been into electronics on guitar since about 1958.
How did you get into that?
I made a left-hand turn at Buffalo, New York. No, I
guys, I'm Boxcar Willie. You know, I'm always hanging around down at the Hobo Jungle, and that's where I always feel at home. And that's why I feel so at home right here on Radio London with my old buddy Bob Powell. Because, you know, like I said, I feel at home with a bunch of bums, and I'll tell you there ain't no bigger bum than Bob Powell. Here he is!
Your London Country on BBC Radio London with Bob Powell. I'm Jack Clement.
Folks, I'm Mel Tillis, and I want all of you to know that you're listening to London's originally country music program. London Country on the BBC Radio London in stereo. Thank you. Thank you.
Really good.
What? I'll never be able to get it that good again.
Yeah, this time I'm at Mel Tillis, lovely. Hello there, my name's Slim Whitman, and you listen to my good friend Bob Powell on London Country. BBC Radio London on 206 medium wave and 94.9 VHF.
Hello, I'm Vernon Oxford, and I'd like to remind you to keep listening to London Country with Bob Powell on BBC Radio London, 206 medium wave and 94.9 VHF.
Marvin Rainwater here. Glad you're listening to London Country on Radio London, 206 with Bob Powell.
Hello, friends. This is Johnny Dollar. Stick around because your friend of mine, Bob Powell's on BBC Radio London, the best in good country sounds.
Hi, I'm Emmylou Harris. You are listening to London Country on Radio London with Bob Powell.
Hi, this is Marilyn Sellers. You are listening to London Country on BBC Radio London.
Hi, folks. You know who you're listening to. Well, you're listening to London Country Radio London. Well, I'm your good and country buddy, Jimmy Martin, from here in Nashville, Tennessee. And we thank you so much. Hang in there and keep listening.
Hello, you're tuned to London Country with Bob Powell on Radio London 206. My name's Little Jimmy Dickens.
I'm Tom T. Hall, and I'd like to remind you that you are listening to London Country with Bob Powell right here on BBC Radio London.
Howdy, neighbors. This is Webb Pierce, and you're listening to London Country with Bob Powell on BBC Radio London.
Hello there, this is Mike Wiseman, reminding you to listen to my good friend Bob Powell for the very best in country music on London Country on BBC Radio London, 206 medium wave and 94.9 VHF.
Hi, everybody, this is Buck Owens here to tell you that you're listening to London Country with Bob Powell on BBC Radio London.
Hello, I'm Merle Haggard, reminding you that you're listening to London Country live here on 206 Radio London. Now here's your host, Bob Powell.
Hi, I'm Linda Hargrove, bringing country to the capital, London Country on Radio London, 206 with Bob Powell.
You are tuned to London Country with Bob Powell on Radio London 206. My name is Hank Lachlan, and here's one of my records.
Hi there, I'm Carl Smith, and you're listening to London Country with Bob Powell on Radio London.
You're listening to London Country on BBC Radio London. Pound 206 medium wave and 95.3 VHF.
Pound, it's 206.
It's a funny symbol, Bob.
Oh, that was my mistake, actually.
I see.
We didn't get your name. I think it's the script.
David Deep Voice.
David Deep Voice.
Yes.
Ah, that's your real name, is it?
Yes, I'm a pro.
Now, do you know what the other side of this record is?
Yes, I do.
It is
Floppy.
Floppy, dedicated to Jack Clements Productions. Sorry, Jack. He's off mic. You can't answer back now, you see.
And I told him, I said, if you wake me up again, I'm going to kick you off this bus. And the song ended up to be, in the summertime when all the leaves and trees are green, sold over 3 million records. And I was going to kick him off the bus for singing the crazy thing to me.
Shows what you know about it.
Yeah, that shows. Well, what would you have said? 3 o'clock in the morning, you were bombed out, too. Somebody singing, in the summertime when all the leaves and trees are green.
Yes, I agree with you. Not the right song, wrong time.
Right.
This is another nice one he wrote.
Artist singing a song called Rainbow Road.
I don't know why you want to do this to me, because
I've got to qualify this. I have never told anyone I could sing.
Well, do you want to explain? Because you won't remember it, but I've been on your program once, and the door opened when I was talking, and I couldn't see who it was. And you said, what do you think of Marty Robbins? He's not very good, is he? And this sort of thing. And I said, yeah, I think he's good. He said, no, you know, I mean, you've said to me off. I said, I never said to you off, Mike. And it turned out it was Marty Robbins sitting behind us, and you were trying to get me going, you know. So you deserve everything you get, really.
Oh, did I do that to you, Bob?
Yep.
Who had the hit on it?
Faron Young.
Oh, yeah. Foul-mouthed Faron is his
Foul-mouthed Faron, that's right.
And, right, well, we're going to have a little bit of an Air Force show now, Gene. I usually do this sort of thing when you come on.
Yeah, you keep us on the edge.
Right.
We couldn't get WWVA way out there in West Texas.
You wouldn't do that. We did in West Quebec, though, which is far more important. Now, Billy, we're going to have one of your most... one of your most popular. That's The Book of You and Me, which is really nice, Jeannie Shepherd. Jeannie Shepherd, I like that.
Yeah, I'll get you there, Bob.
Actually, it just flows. I think that's why. It does. Because of Divine.
Hopefully, everybody says, well, you know, that's kind of a term of endearment.
Yeah.
So I said, boy, I've sure been endeared to a lot of people.
Right. As long as Jean Seeley changed her name, you'll be over. You can switch over.
Well, there's Jeannie Seeley, Jeannie Pruitt, Jeannie C. Riley, but I'm the only Jean.
Right. And you want to stick to it?
Yes.
Gene Price?
Well, just to show what a great songwriter you are, we're going to start off with a Bob McDill song.
Good.
We do things like that.
That's good.
Do you know what it's called?
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
Our special guest in London Country, Jim Glazer.
I see it as an instrumental album. I've heard him sing, you see.
Well, I've enjoyed being here, Bob.
Going already, huh? Farnham's Silver... I love talking over Billy Armstrong singing. Farnham's Silver Dollar Club meets at the Barley Room at the Maltings Farnham in Surrey.
I'll have to give you an open statement that any time you want an interview from me or any of the Oaks, we'll always be here, because even starting back in Philadelphia, I find that you are very interested in our business, enough to even go back 14 years and find things I'd forgotten. And if you do things like that, I promise you it's always exciting to do an interview with you.
Thank you very much, Dwayne. I'd also like to thank Secretary...
Sure, your list is correct. You're surprising me with your history.
You're a better historian of country music than anybody I've seen in the past 25 years, or preceding that.
Oh, thank you. Not true, but I appreciate it. But we're going to go...
Oh, this is recorded in 73, so wasn't it 73?
Well, I guess it was, if you go by the date. I'm going with the release of the records. You're right.
Thank you.
I've learned not to argue with Bob. He's always right.
Even when he's wrong. Patsy Judy.
A lot of good talent here in England, really, and they don't get the proper recognition. You did swell to thanks, Bob, for giving...
Watch this. This is where the violins come on. We got even better talent when you come over.
Oh. Now, I don't know if he's kidding or not. Seems like somebody. He grins the same way all the time.
I'm not saying a word. I've been eating her cooking. It's lovely.
I'll pretend he's serious and say thank you, Bob.
I've been to Hyatt of cooking California. It is lovely.
Well, it's so neat to find somebody that knows no more trivia about Ed Bruce than I do. I'm the resident expert.
Bob, I guess there isn't a person in the world that knows more about country music than yourself. You are the connoisseur of country music, and your reputation has penetrated all barriers in all countries. Everybody in the world knows your knowledge and expertise in the country music.
The song What Does It Take we're talking about. You told me you were going to play it by Jim Ed Brown, and I thought you possibly were in error, but I should have known better with your encyclopedic mind on country music information.
Always delight to have you back, because it's great fun talking to you.
Thank you, Bob. I enjoy coming here, and I learn a little more about the business that I'm in every time when I'm around you.
Thank you. Not true, but... Right. The song, actually, Tony, was written by the same man who co-wrote Orange Blossom Special, which is a bit of useless information, isn't it?
Well, beautiful number there by Norman Blake, who years and years ago came over to this country with John Hartford. Just thought I'd tell you that. Full of information I am. Absolutely no interest to anyone. Because he was living in Norway, last I heard. All full of information. Yeah.
Oh, it all comes out when you're on the air.
Yeah. You know, there's a bit of useless information coming up here. Do you know another name hardly ever used anymore for an umbrella in this country?
Parasol?
No, GAMP. G-A-M-P.
I didn't know that.
That's a great one for crossroads people. And of course, we've actually got it from the Crystal Hamburger place, you know. She spelled it.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they spelled it. I'm full of information, I tell you. The very place I first saw South Pacific was at the Dominion. It used to be a cinema. Still is.
Is it right?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's sort of information.
A little
which
trivia there.
People
Only a
love.
Londoner would know, right?
Exactly, yes. From Quebec and Philadelphia. Who is it?
Tahoe Wahoo Wahoo, the Hawaiian war chant.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Tahoe Wahoo Wahoo.
Wow.
That's it.
Achoo. By Spike Jones. And it's Hawaiian City Slickers. And you will have to pronounce, I can get as far as my little grass shack
In Kealakekua, Hawaii.
That's what I was about to say. You believe me, dear listeners, don't you?
Tours the far outback, even out to the Aboriginal reserves, which are in the remotest areas.
No, Walla Walla Lumba and all around there.
Oh, yes, and Gullah Gullah Gumba.
Oh, no, Gullah Gullah.
He does a lot, but...
Our heartbreaking wall. Let's do a yodel. After that, let's sing. What is the answer to that question?
I love you because.
Oh, well, I didn't know you cared. He did his little jingle. Billy Joe Spears didn't like it either. Oh, well, can't please everybody. I thought it was rather nice. He used to actually appear on the Wheeling, West Virginia. He used to advertise. He used to say, send it to me. That's Wayne Rainey. Became quite famous. And that was Frank Ifield had done that before when he was on the show once.
Hey, railroad bomb. Whoops, that's the echo. Sounded nice, that, the echo. Oh, yeah, that's the London Country Echo on Tony Frost singing there.
Rise in 99 years, my dark day, as he would sing. They sing on him bluegrass a lot, don't they?
That's Webb Pierce and by X, Real Fair. Boy, they used to sing through their nose those days.
As I say in the trade. Do you want to say how you did it after people heard it or before? It'd be interesting, you know, exactly what you're doing here.
Well, what am I doing? Well, I blow the air through the side of my cheek and sound like...
Chuck, chuck, boy, boy.
It's a funny thing, I had a wisdom tooth pulled, and I've had a heck of a job doing the duck, because...
But there again, with the real Donald Duck, I could never understand what he's saying, so... maybe it's more authentic now with the wisdom tooth gone.
I don't know. My duck voice is a little bit between the other cartoon character, the Yacky Doo-Doo, and Donald Duck. Yacky was the little innocent guy.
Oh,
gee, my chopper, come on, boo-boo.
Wanda Jackson, I'd like to thank you very, very much indeed for coming on the program today. I appreciate it.
I don't remember when I've had so much fun, Bob. I've enjoyed hearing all the old records that you've played and the new ones. And
Very old.
Little bits of information you've given me.
Before we go off, I want to thank you for having us here.
Yes, and kissy, kissy goodbye.
And today, Bob Powell say I'll see you same time next week. Bye.
Bob Powell saying I'll see you same time next week. Bye.